Howdy y'all, Fuzzy Biker down here at Back Recycle in the Mighty Mini Cropless of Marnie, Iowa. Pretty exciting day. We're going to go out and take this hot rod. We're going to do about, try to get 200 or more miles in this afternoon. Life is good. Let's get it done. Wahoo! Well, we've made it 92 miles down to Hamburg, Iowa. Couple things to report. First off, I ran out of gas. I'll tell you all about that in a minute. Second thing is Hamburg, Iowa is a town. It used to be the most northwest town of Missouri. Later it became the most southwest town of Iowa. How does that happen? Well, they founded the town, they thought they were in Missouri. They thought they were the most northwest town of Missouri. And 10 years later, did a little survey, I think it was 10 years, and they figured out that they were in Iowa. So they were actually the southwest, the very southwest corner of Iowa. What I've always wondered about was taxes for the first 10 years. Did Missouri give those back to Iowa, or how did that work? Was it just a call it even kind of deal? Anyway, let's talk about the motorcycle. So seating, let's start with that. I was okay for the most part, but I got pretty uncomfortable. This seat is something I'm not used to yet. It has some hard spots in it. It's got some, you can kind of move around in it. Like, I was trying to sit back here a lot because that's what I'm used to. And at times I pushed forward and I got myself over here, and it's actually a whole different seat when you do that. It cups you different. I've just got to get used to it. I've only got what 160 miles on the bike, so by the time I have 1,000 miles on it, so early next week, hopefully, I'll have that seat down pat. As far as comfort, like my arms and my legs, and just fine. I'm having a little trouble, and I think it's because of these boots. I've got these heavy-duty motorcycle boots. I have to really lean forward to push on the brake. I might try to adjust that up. The shifting has gone fine. It's these boots are so large, you can see that there, that I've had to learn how to shift, get my foot under there. But now that I've got that down, it's not a problem at all. Handling, I did adjust the shocks. I don't know if you can see that down there. We bumped this up 2 notches, and the brutal hitting is gone. The big whack that I was getting every now and then, that was just gone. It's actually pretty good. I ran all kinds of different roads coming down here. I used the navigation system, and then I would on purpose take the wrong turns and see what happened. It actually responded pretty quick. But what that allowed me to do was take roads that I just haven't been on in years, and a lot of old beat up roads, a lot of concrete roads, a lot of ones that were wore out, and the bike did pretty well overall. I wouldn't say it was a stellar ride, but I would say it was a good ride. Interestingly enough, I got on an old, just wore out to pieces asphalt road. One of those things that undulates and goes up and down, and the bike did really well on that. It loved it, actually. I can't say enough good about it on that part of the deal. Then we got to we got to the end of that particular road, it turned to gravel. 2 miles of gravel. So I did put 2 miles of gravel on the bike. If you kind of look close, you can see the dust. There's a fingerprint there. It's been an interesting and fun ride. As far as things like power go, it's not as powerful as an Interceptor. You do have it is gear sensitive. You have to make sure you're in the right gear. It's not terribly gear sensitive, but it is slightly. As far as going down the 2-lane blacktops go, no problems at all. Passing, I even did a 6th gear pass without any trouble at all. So it's got enough power for sure. I'm confident I can use this as a highway bike. I have not done any interstate yet, but I have done a lot of 2-lane blacktops and back roading. So the bike's working fine. So the big I ran out of gas thing, what happened there? Well, I was pushing it. I didn't know, I got the bike. I haven't put any gas in it yet. Well, until just recently, just minutes ago. And things were going good. The trip fuel meter came on. I've got 2 other Royal Enfields, and on both those bikes, you can go between 50 and 70 over, once it hits that trip meter. I was at about 35. I was going up a hill and started cutting out. I was a mile from a town, so I turned around, and it was cutting out desperately, especially the last. So I could see the gas station was up a hill, and I was going up that hill, and it started cutting out, and then it ran out. The motor just died. I pulled the clutch in, and I literally coasted to the pump. That is an honest-to-God story. Believe it or not, that is the real truth. And this tank, which is supposed to be a 4.1 gallon tank, took 3.92 gallons. I should have took a picture of that. So I'm now calling this a 3.9 gallon tank. Maybe it holds more, but the pump wasn't happy with it, so it didn't take more. I couldn't get any more in it. Maybe I should have put it on center stand. I don't know. But anyway, so that was a happy ending, I guess. A good, an adventurous ending. But you know what? Let's put this camera away. I'm going to run up the road here. There's a little park up here I just haven't been to in forever, and we'll stop and talk there. Hey, life is good. Wahoo! Well, we were supposed to stop at a state park, but I missed the park. I was having, I don't know what happened. I don't know if they removed the sign, or if I just looked the wrong way, or if I was having too much fun and missed the corner. But on the plus side, I did about 25 miles of wore-out asphalt. To the west of me was the Missouri River. To the right of me was Luss Hills. So it was twisty, it was windy, it was, you know, it undulated up and down. It kind of just, and this bike just ate it up, just did it incredibly well. But when you get it going in that sense, it did just fine. I was going between, I suppose, 45 to 70 and leaving it in 6th gear with no trouble at all. And then just for the heck of it, I jumped it down into 5th. So it was like a whole different beast. I mean, it just came to life, real wild. But I was perfectly happy doing that in 6th gear. So it ran very well, very well. It's different than any of my other bikes. It's incredibly different compared to my Classic or my Classic 350 or my, you know, that's a very nimble, small town bike that just does really well. It even likes the 4-lane, or not the 4-lane, but the 2-lane blacktop. My Himalayan will do dirt, and, you know, my Himalayan will do anything. This is definitely a, I'm going to say it's a pavement bike, but I did do some gravel on it. And, you know, if you got on curvy gravel, this would probably do counter steering very well. I wouldn't do it. It's not made for that. It's a very heavy bike for that. And that's another thing, the weight. We have been, you know, we learned that weight is bad. And, you know, for the most part, I suppose it is as far as motorcycles go. But this thing is incredibly stable with a very long wheelbase. It's got a lot of mass, and it sticks to the road really good. I just burned up that, well, what did I say, 25 miles of up and downy, turny, lefty, righty pavement, and this thing just performed admirably. You know, and I think the weight kind of added to that. It gave it more stability, you know, it stayed stuck to that road pretty good. It didn't bounce around or do any of those things. And then the torque, you know, I said that already, between 45 and 65 or 70, the torque was just, it was just always there. I have called this gear sensitive, and I'll stick to that. Okay, gear sensitive means that you have to be in the right gear, right RPMs for the right gear for the right speed. It is a little gear sensitive, not a lot. And by the way, the seat, I want to talk about the seat. There's a bit of a devil in there. This last little bit, I didn't have any trouble with the seat. When I was riding a lot of straight road, it bothered me more. But when I was going through the twisties where I was moving quite a bit, that seat actually worked very well. So, all right, enough about that. Hey guys, if you're in the market for a near used Royal Enfield like this one, Triumph or classic British bike of any type, get yourself over to Baxter Cycle in the mighty mini-tropolis of Marnie, Iowa. Tell them Fuzzy Biker sent you, or go to baxtercycle.com. It is a beautiful day, and I'm going to try to get another, well, 70, 80, 90 miles on this thing. Life is good, my friends. Get out there and ride. Wahoo! Hey, quick addendum. The nav system. My phone is totally dead. I don't know if it's the nav system or what, but I'm going to blame the nav system. I used the nav system for the first 90 miles till I got to Hamburg, and did the 25 miles of riding. Just pulled my phone out here a minute ago, and it was just absolutely dead.